In terms of case study, um, case because it should be an issue that is well defined, right? So let's say you want to study maybe experience of COVID, right? You can use case study approach because it's something that happened in a particular time, right? You can study a specific location, right? You can also study a particular group of people who have experienced something that you are interested in. So a case can be defined by time. It can be defined by a specific location. It can be defined by an event that just happened or happened years ago. It can be defined by a group of people who have experienced certain phenomenon, and then you want to, look at it as a case and study it. And in terms of case study, you have to think about, okay, so what is the purpose of me studying this case? Are you studying to highlight the characteristics of the case to your audience? Are you studying to understand what is going on with maybe participants? Are you studying to compare cases, right? You have to decide. So in order to label your approach as a case study, first there should be a case, and also the purpose could be highlighting the case, understanding the case, making sense of the case, explaining the case, right? Letting people know the uniqueness of the case. Maybe there is a specific case where not a lot of researchers have looked into that. And you want to highlight what people to know the uniqueness of the case. You can use case study. Most of the time, in terms of data collection strategy for case study, you are expected to collect multiple data, right? So you can do observation and interview, or interviews and focus groups, or maybe observation and document analysis, right? So at the end of the day, you have to choose more than one data collection strategy if you want to use case study approach. So the last, I think last part one. So this one is a phenomenological approach. This is what a lot of students use, right? This is used when you want to capture the experience of participants. So maybe participants have experienced a specific phenomenon, maybe depression, right? So you gather a group of participants who have experienced depression and you want them to share their experience with you, right? And you can interview them. You can also conduct a focus group where, they meet and you ask them questions. At the end of the day, most of the time you want to maybe understand the experience, right? Or make meaning of the experience. You give them the chance to share the experience with you and try to make meaning so that you'll be able to address the research question that you have. The last one approach that I want to talk about is Granite Theory. So as the name implies, you're trying to develop a theory, but the theory should be based on the data that you're going to collect. You are developing a theory because maybe you are using it to explain a phenomenon. You are using it to explain a situation. You are using it to explain a behavior, right? Most of the time, if you want to use case study approach, you have to conduct interview. Identify the source of that information that you need, right? So let's say you are focusing on explaining the experience of depression. You identify participants and interview them, right? And get all the information that you need. And then you'll be able to do the analysis and come up with a model or a theory to explain that behavior, right? So if the purpose of your study is to come up with a model of a theory to explain a specific behavior, then you can use Granite Theory. Most of the time for Granite Theory, you need a lot of participants, maybe about 25 participants. The reason being that you want to come up with a theory that represent participant information that they have given you, at the same time explaining the phenomenon that you are focusing on. Thank you for watching. This is Philip Edu, the methodology expert. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.